Today's theme is all about cooling, meaning using our breath to bring air and wind to cool the internal heat, the fire of stress and anger, and energetically cool your body. Um, or your spirit or your energy or whatever. And the way that it's done for the most part is with opening your ribs and allowing working with a lot of breath. So air and breath and um, wind are sort of like the imagery for today. And the idea is we will hopefully cool your system, um, smooth the edges of, and give you some calm and relief, hopefully. And we're going to do a couple breathing techniques today, but we're going to start with one that you maybe have seen before. I'm not sure. Um, Let me get to spotlight myself as well. There you go. Okay. So this one is for those of us who somebody told me last period that it's a dominant trait, but if you can do the tongue curl, you're gonna make a straw basically out of your tongue and suck the air in and then exhale out of your nose if that's possible for you. So it's inhale, sucking in, and then exhale through your nose. Now, if you can't do the tongue curl, then just take your tongue to like the edge of your lip and then pucker, and it has that kind of same sensation of it. And you're trying to cool your tongue and the roof of your mouth by drawing in the cool air. And then exhaling through your nose, then the effect of that is that making it a smaller thing makes it so that it's more like you'll probably have a longer exhale. Now, if you're clogged up, then obviously don't do that. But if you can exhale through your nose, give it a try. So inhale through the and exhale through your nose. Let's do a few breaths like that just to see. Inhale through your mouth. Exhale through your nose. Let's do two more. And then just bring yourself back to even breathing and notice the temperature in your mouth and your nose and your head. Notice the effects of a longer exhale. And when you want to, come onto your backs, knees bent. And we're going to actually roll over onto our sides. So stacking your knees, stacking your shoulders, and then straighten your bottom arm and stack the top arm on top of it, right? Approximately. And we're going to do a little breathing technique here with adding movement, right? So you're going to take you might want to watch for a second, but taking your top arm, arcing it overhead until your arms are in a T. If you don't have enough space, you could probably do cactus arms or something, but the idea of the T of your arms. And then you're going to lift your knees and your bottom arm and roll over until your bottom arm becomes your top arm. And then arcing back and coming back over to where we started, right? So that's the general pattern. So let's try with different breath movements that go with it. Okay, so inhale and arc your arm overhead until it's into a T, and then exhale here in this sort of twist. And then inhale, bring your arm and your legs vertical. Exhale, flop over until your arms are touching again. And then inhale and arc your arm overhead again. Exhale in the twist. Inhale, knees and arms up. Exhale, flop over to the other side and keep going. Inhale, arc. Exhale, rest. Inhale, knees and arms up. Exhale, knees and arms over. Inhale, arc, or exhale, rest. Inhale, knees and arms up. Exhale, over. I'm going to change the breath pattern a little bit that goes with that and let somebody in. Okay. So the new breath pattern is inhale, arc, and let me think about this. Oh, no, sorry. Inhale, arc halfway. Exhale the other half of the way. And then inhale, knees up, and exhale over. So inhale halfway to like noon in your arm. Exhale to the T. Inhale up. Exhale, flop over to the other side. Let's try this one again. Inhale up. Exhale to the T. Inhale, knees up. Exhale, flop over. Inhale to noon. Exhale to a T. Inhale up. Exhale over. Okay. Third pattern is inhale for the full arc and exhale with a full flip. So inhale your arm up and over. Exhale your knees up and over. Inhale, arm up and over. Exhale, everything else. Inhale, arch. Exhale, flop. Inhale, arc. And exhale, flop. Awesome. Rest here for a minute. And when you're ready, come on to your belly. And I'm going to let someone in. And we might try crocodile pose. There's actually a pose for, there's multiple poses, but being on your belly. Crocodile is your feet are probably a little bit wider than you normally have them, and toes out, and then you flop your heels in towards each other. And then rest your head on your hands. So a position of rest. If you want to shake your hips back, left or right, just kind of settle in. And you don't have to do the feet position like this, but if you want to try it, you're welcome to, obviously. But from this on your belly position, notice your breathing. And notice what happens as you hopefully are trying to belly breathe and press your belly into the ground. And notice what happens in your back body because there's not as much space because the floor's in the way. Maybe you have a feeling of expansion in your lower ribs, your side ribs. Maybe you can feel the expansion in your lower back. One more breath here. And then bring your feet together and your arms overhead, straight in front of you, kind of. You can have your hands down or palms up, whatever feels interesting to you, or more safe in your shoulders if you have shoulder injuries. And let's start with what they call needle pose. So it's bring your index fingers together if you can and reach as far as your arms will go. Make them super long. And maybe even lift and lower each of your legs, trying to get even an extra little smidge of length um, in your body. This is You're making a position that's like a sewing needle. And go ahead and release that sort of extra extension and flop both of your hands over to the left and flop both of your legs over to the left. This is called banana pose, right? So you're really getting a opening in your side, your right side, because your arms and your legs are arced over to the left. Do whatever you feel like with your head. There's not really any set way. And see if you can breathe into your waist, your side ribs. Create a little bit of space, maybe even between your ribs. And every time we have this sort of side bend position, we're releasing this internal heat and helping it move along its way with our breath. One more breath here, and then come through neutral, and maybe pause in neutral for a second, and then flop over to the other side. So right arm and both arms to the right side, both legs to the right. Do whatever you can with your head and really try to breathe extra space into your left side. While you're breathing, I'm going to let someone in. And maybe one more breath here, and then back to neutral with your arms overhead. And we'll try a little back strengthener and actually make sure that you're engaging your lower belly to support your back so you don't overarch. But we're going to try
Lifting opposite limbs. So we're going to start with left arm, right leg. On your inhale, lift, and then exhale, lower. Then right arm, left leg. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Back to left arm, right leg, lift, lower. And then the other side, lift and lower. And either repeat that or do all four on your inhale, lift and lower. And one more, either switching sides or lift and lower. Shimmy your hips again for a little bit, release, and then come into child's pose as your counter stretch. So find your child's pose, room for your belly, flop into it, whatever it looks like for you. You might try stretching your arms out overhead to keep in with this theme of creating extra space and allowing your air to flow into your side body particularly. And notice what happens to your breath when you're crunched into a ball. And see if you can create space in your lower back where you're moving your ribs out to the sides, even though your belly's in a scrunched up position. One more breath here. And come on out. And let's go into down dog, our first downward dog of the day. So have a generous bend in your knees. And maybe try pedaling your legs, shifting your weight from left to right. And notice this sort of lateral shift and the stretch in your left and right waist or side body as you sort of sway back and forth in your down dog. Then either walk your feet to your hands or your hands to your feet for forward fold. Let your head dangle. Have as much bend in your knees as you'd like. Keep breathing. Then on your next inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, forward fold. And then using your abs, strong arms, strong abs, stand up. Arms up. Exhale, mountain. I'm going to add some height to my setup here. All right. So from mountain, let's do a little bit of play and just lifting our arms up overhead, but adding our feet, right? So inhale, lifting your arms, lifting your heels. Top of the inhale is top of this, and then exhale, try to match so that the bottom of your exhale, your arms are down, your heels are down, and you might fall, but have your breath match your movement to the best of your ability, and then play with it a little bit. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. And let's do one more. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Awesome. Now we're going to do side bends from standing. And I just have a recommended arm grip, and so I'm going to get on my knees so you can see. So inhale, tall, arms overhead. I'm going to grab my wrist and bend over. And then inhale, tall, switch wrist grips. Exhale over to the other side. So I'm pulling on the arm to get a little bit more stretch. Inhale, tall, switch arms. Exhale, bend over. Breathing into that side body. Inhale, tall, switching the grip. Exhale, over. Keep going. I'm going to stand up. One more each side. Inhale, tall. Exhale, over. Inhale, tall. Exhale, over. Inhale, tall. Exhale, arms down. I'm going to come on down to do some lunges. So on your next inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, left leg back for low lunge. And this time, keep your hands on the ground. I'm putting both hands on the inside of my right knee and coming into a more of a lunge. Some people call this lizard position or lizard pose. Hands are pretty much even with my foot. It's an option for a low lunge. Keep breathing. And then on your next inhale, bring your torso back up to vertical. And then let's add an arm. I'm going to bring my arms up into like a Y and exhale into cactus or goalposts. Inhale, reach. Exhale, arms down, or whatever you want to do. Inhale, reach. Exhale, down. Adding on, we're going to move into a twist. So my left hand down next to my right foot, right arm to the sky for a low lunge twist. So inhale, reach for the ceiling, and exhale, try draping your arm behind you and see what that does for your twist. Usually it helps you twist a little bit more. Inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, maybe bring your arm behind. Inhale, reach to the ceiling. Exhale, a little bit more twist. And this time, inhale, reach, then put your palm towards the front of your mat, arm overhead for your exhale, and see what happens to your twist. Inhale, arms so your shoulders are stacked, and then exhale, bring that arm overhead. One more inhale here, and exhale, both hands to the ground, bring your foot back, inhale, and then exhale, tuck your toes, shift back into down dog. Take a couple breaths here, and while you're there, I'm going to let someone in. Okay. And go ahead and come on down through tabletop now. Left knee forward. Oh, I'm going to keep my hands down. Sorry. Left knee forward, knee outside of my hands, and come into my lunge from here. And breathe. Next inhale, bring torso to vertical. Exhale here, and if you want to add arms, arms into a Y. And exhale into goalposts. Inhale, reach. Exhale down. One more. Inhale, reach. Exhale down. And now we're going to come into a twist. So right hand down onto the mat, parallel with my foot. Left arm reaching towards the sky. Inhale, reach. Exhale, maybe drape my arm behind. See what that does to my twist. Inhale, reach. Exhale, drape behind. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist even a little bit more. And this time, inhale, reach, then palm towards the front. Exhale, extend. Inhale, reach. Exhale, extend. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hand down, leg back. Inhale here, and then exhale into down dog. And breathe. One more inhale here. Actually, a full breath. And then on your next inhale, bring your feet to your hands or your hands to your feet for half forward fold. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, use your abs. Stand up, arms up. Exhale, mountain. Awesome. I'm going to move into a little triangle sequence. So big step with your left leg, and then point that left foot so it's facing left towards the short end of your mat. Back foot turned in whatever degree is comfortable for you. If you want I'm going to teeter-totter over onto my shin. If you want blocks or your chair, to make it more comfortable for you, get whatever you think that you need to make triangle strong for you. But inhale, arms into a T, and then reach and teeter-totter over, and then try to stack your shoulders. And then reach for that ceiling. Because a lot of times we have our arm, we think it's overhead, but it's not. But really reach for the ceiling. And then try draping your hand behind and see how that opens up your chest area, twists you a little bit more. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, twist a teeny bit more. Inhale, long spine. And then let's try extending from here, palm towards the front and arm overhead. Inhale, T. Exhale, extend. And then bend that front knee slightly so you can come out and switch feet. That's all you have to do. Right foot pointing that way, left foot in, whatever degree is comfortable for you. Inhale your arms into a T. Exhale, reach and teeter over. Inhale, reach for the ceiling. Exhale, drape your hand behind. Twist a little bit more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist. Inhale, reach. Exhale, palm towards the front, arm overhead. Inhale, reach. Exhale, extend. And then bend the front knee. Inhale, come on up. And then actually bring both feet facing towards the front a little bit, probably a little bit ducked. Not full goddess duck, but just somewhat, right? And we're going to try revolved triangle again with a little bit different attack. So it's almost like touching your toes in gym class. So inhale your arms into a T, and then go for the opposite shin. And then inhale up and exhale, or maybe some of you are toe grabbers. Whatever is, or maybe your block is there. Whatever makes sense for you. Inhale up into your X and exhale over. And then inhale up. And the next one,
we're going to go and hold. So exhale, hold your X position or whatever with your, for me, and my left hand, my right hand's down toward my left foot. And then try inhaling, reaching for the ceiling, and maybe try exhale, draping your hand behind and see what that does. Inhale, reach. Exhale, behind maybe. So inhale, maybe even longer spine a teeny bit. Exhale, drape behind. You're welcome to have that front knee bent to whatever degree is helpful for you in this. And then one more inhale and exhale, come on up. Inhale and exhale, switch sides. And you're welcome to have a bend in this front knee if that helps you. So inhale, reach for the ceiling, and exhale, maybe try draping your hand behind you. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist a teeny bit more. Inhale, reach. Maybe exhale, twist a little bit more. Inhale, reach. Then the front knee. Come on up into your X, and we're going to come, oh, actually, we're going to stay here. And we're going to try forward fold from here. But I would recommend a little bit of a challenge. Like this is that same position. I'm pretty comfortable in here. Try wiggling your feet out a little bit wider. So almost until you're like, oh, a little bit dangerous feeling or whatever, if you can. It's just try a little bit of a wider V than you might normally have. And then we're going to do down dog arms. So kind of bend your knees, get your hands on the ground and reach forward. And then let your head dangle if you can. So basically it's a wide-legged down dog kind of a feeling. And this time, you might have your heels wider than your toes slightly to help you with that internal rotation of your legs. And breathe. And then if you feel like it, you might, because right now our weight's probably in our toes, you might shift, walk back your hands a little bit or onto a block or onto your fists or your fingertips, whatever is your flexibility on this, till your weight is evenly distributed over your feet. Not necessarily like totally in your heels, but see what you can do. With the wider stance, the ground is probably closer than it normally is for you. If let your head dangle. Some of you who are more flexible probably have your heads on the ground. Some of you who are less flexible are probably looking for your blocks. Then find your stability in your legs and put your hands at your waist. So kind of come up halfway and keep your hands at your waist. So a little bit of a balance here. And breathe here. And then come on up. And walk your feet in and then together. And the reason you come up halfway is to kind of equilibrate your balance so that you don't feel like passing out when you come up. All right. So I'm going to switch sides just because it's fun to have a different perspective. And we're going to review some of the stuff that we started class with. And actually, wow, this has gone by very fast. Okay, so we're not going to inhale your arms up, exhale, fold forward, inhale, half forward fold, and then giant step back with your left leg, knee,
down. Inhale, rise up for just a breath or two. And then left hand down for the twist. And you might try, if you're feeling frisky, to come up off of your left knee for a lunge as you go into your twist and see what that feels like. And breathe here for a couple breaths. You're welcome to be back down on your knee, but if you're feeling like a little bit of a challenge, come on up. Just see what it feels like. Then both hands down, down dog. And then come on down to bring your left knee forward and rise. Breath or two here. And then right hand down, maybe coming back up off of that right knee, come into your twist. Maybe try a exhale of draping your hand to see what that does to your orientation of your chest. One more breath here. And both hands down, down dog. And then come on to your knees and have a seat again. I'm going to remove my prop. There we go. Awesome. So let's just do some easy side bends from here. So inhale tall and exhale, bend over to one side. Inhale tall, bend over to the other side. You can do whatever pattern it looks like for you. Can do arms. You can come onto your elbow. Just see what it feels like to have almost like a little bit of a dance, a little flowy. Inhale tall, exhale, side bend. Find a little bit of a rhythm. See if you can follow your movement with your breath. Come to neutral and let's try a twist from here. So just again, following your breath, inhale tall, exhale, twist, inhale, neutral and tall, and exhale, twist. If you want to add that hitchhiker thumb, because that, for me, that helps with my shoulder orientation. Inhale, neutral and tall, and then exhale, twist, whatever that looks like for you. Come to neutral and we'll try right leg forward, left leg in tree, and left hand reaching for whatever is comfortable for you. So inhale tall, exhale, and make this into a twist, right? Where you can feel that spiral in your spine. Every inhale is a little bit taller, and every exhale might be a little bit closer to your right thigh, or maybe a little bit more, slight micro movement of more twist. Do whatever you want that's helpful with your right hand. One more breath here, and then release, and let's switch orientation, meaning put your right hand on your left knee. Inhale tall and out. Now we're going to side bend over this extended leg. Once you get over a little bit, you might release your right knee, but your right or left knee, sorry, your right elbow should be on the inside edge of your right leg. So it's more of a side bend than a forward bend. If you want to add an arm to whatever degree is comfortable for you, Some of you can probably grab your toe with both of your arms. I am not that person. On your next inhale, come on out. And let's switch sides. Switch sides this way. So right hand, left shin, thigh, knee, toe, whatever makes sense for you. Inhale tall, exhale, twist a little bit more, maybe lean over a little bit more. Inhale tall, exhale twist, or lean forward, bringing your belly closer to your thigh. Next inhale, release. And then left hand, right knee. Inhale tall, and then see if you can side bend over your left leg here. Maybe release that hand from your knee. Maybe add an arm if that feels like something you want to do. And breathe. And one more breath here. On your next inhale, come on out and go back into easy pose. Let's do a couple side bends back and forth just to kind of loosen things up. And then let's do forward fold from easy pose using those kind of down dog arms. Scoot back and just inhale tall and exhale coming forward as much as I can. You're welcome to move boobs or belly out of the way or find a position that might be more comfortable or sustainable. Might need a block for your head. You might press into your hands and just have your hands or your fingertips in contact with the ground. And then try breathing into your lower back. And then go ahead and come on up. And actually, let's go onto our backs again and do a couple rounds of the twist that we started class with. So flopping over onto one side, stacking your knees, stacking your shoulders, stacking your hands. And then we're just gonna inhale and arc. And then instead of moving, let's just be in this twist for a couple breaths. And then when you're ready, whatever breath pattern makes sense for you, either an inhale, an exhale over, whatever, flip over to the other side, stack your hands, stack your knees, and then inhale, arc, and then just hold your twist.
Notice the air winding and twisting throughout your body, particularly your upper body, obviously, but breath in all the corners. Having these sort of expansive side bends is supposed to be energetically cooling, helping to decrease your stress or your anger or the heat. Bring both knees back up to vertical and knees in for self massage. And then rock and roll to sitting, maybe for playful. Actually, even if you can get up in one, just to play. And then I'm going to come forward because I want us to do a couple breaths, breathing techniques together before we do Shavasana. So I want us to try bumblebee breath, which is basically humming, but you might try, as we were talking about the facets of yoga, and then it's not just about movement. One of them is this turning inward or turning to focus on your internal bits. And one of the ways to do that is sensory deprivation. So, like you're watching on a scary movie, plug your ears and hum. Some people like to cover their eyes too. You can, or not. And let's hum continuously. So that means like when you run out of breath, just take a new breath in and do it again. And we'll do it for a minute and just notice. It's like an internal massage, just the vibration all throughout your body. Just notice where you feel it. And here we go. Big inhale. So notice what it feels like inside. Before we do Shavasana, I want to try another movement or another, instead of humming, let's repeat the word doom, like doom, D-O-O-M or D-U-M for a minute again. So just whenever you ran out of breath, take another breath in. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Before you go into Shavasana, just notice what it feels like in your head, in your chest, in your belly, your shoulders, your back. And go into your favorite Shavasana for the next few minutes of class, and I'm going to explain what I think is going on. So, creates one kind of vibration. Usually you hum with your tongue against the roof of your mouth. And with doom, it creates a different shape, a little more hollowness in your mouth, which makes things vibrate differently. I think it's really fun, personally. And doom is also a traditional seed sound. It doesn't have any meaning. It's just a sound that has a link to the idea, the principle of protection. In Indian mythology, Doom is associated with the goddess, the warrior goddess Durga, and she is the one who fights for the oppressed, fights over evil, gives strength as a warrior, princess, goddess. So you can say Doom to just because it's fun, or you can say Doom to invoke the sense of protection and what is personified or anthropomorphized through the goddess Durga. And all this internal massage, whether through breath or for humming, is great for reestablishing that balance, taking away some of the heat through longer exhales, through side bends, through twists. Take one more big breath in and let it go. Start to wiggle fingers and toes, wrist circles, ankle circles, if those feel good to you. Maybe a full body stretch. And gently and kindly bring yourself back up to sitting. May the inner light in you reflect the inner light in me. Namaste, everybody, and have a great weekend.